You closed just over $14 million in your first year as a loan officer, $28 million your second year, $48 million your third year, $78 million your fourth year, and a whopping $124 million in your fifth year, totaling 317 transactions in the year 2020. Now that would be incredible for anyone or for any team, but you're able to do that with just a 4-person team. The question I have for you is, where did you get the first $14 million in business in your first year, and how have you been able to continue and maintain this aggressive growth rate?
So I'm a big advocate for working smarter and not harder. And when I started in this industry, I was hired on as an assistant. And I told my boss at that time, look, dude, I've been in sales since I was selling Pokemon cards when I was 7. So I'm just going to go out and find my own loans. And he said, okay, do you. And I just kind of searched my network, and I decided, A, I don't know anything about this industry, and B, I'm going to need clients. So first and foremost, I had just stopped working at corporate AT&T. So I started doing store visits like any sales rep would. And I handed out flyers for first-time homebuyer products, and I used that as a resource to kind of pivot my niche in that company and just be the home lender for AT&T. In addition, I had over 700 friends on Facebook, which I know I'm not influencer status at that point, but I individually messaged every single person and just let them know I'm new in the industry and I just switched careers and I want to be like a lending professional, and let me know any questions that you might have. It kind of worked 2 ways to really help me. One, it helped me learn the industry, to know what questions were out there. So every time someone would come with me to a question, I would go and like dig and find the best and right answer. So I was learning my industry, at the same time gaining confidence for all of my peers. When they went to go buy a house or refinance a house, I was the last person to have that one-on-one communication with them on it. So they immediately went to me. After that, of my first 14 million, I believe that a bird in the hand is more powerful than 2 in the
Bush.
Yeah, like, what's the word? So I just went hard on marketing. I'm always present in my clients' lives, and I really am very honest. I mean, my father, who's a military man, taught me, if you never lie, you never have to remember anything. So I'm first to tell people if I don't have the best rate or if I can't help them to the best of their ability. I gain a ton of trust, and I'm a big advocate for gratitude as well. Like, before I make an agent call or a client call, I just take a breath, and I believe, like, wholeheartedly, I have all this gratitude that somebody would trust me with their money, with their business, with their life. And I remember that in every conversation that I have or try to have. 2020 really kind of flexed on me, and remembering that and bringing that to fruition. So I've gotten even more into meditation and things like that. But I don't know, I just really appreciate the opportunity, and I believe that I do a good job, and I bring that attitude. And then I make sure to remind all my clients who I am all the time, so they know.
I love it. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for that answer. You just killed that answer. Question. The question I would have to ask you is, I have a bunch in my head, but the number one thing that I noticed from you right out of the gate when we first got on the phone is you talk to me like you've known me for a long time. And what sort of came through over the phone, which really got me excited to have her on the show in the first place, which was your confidence. And so where did that confidence come from? Did you already have that confidence? I feel like women that have your level of confidence usually have like big older brothers or something.
I do have an older brother.
See? I know these things.
Honestly, you want to know the real honest story?
Yeah.
I went to a Jewish private school for 7. This is where I literally mark my confidence. I went to a Jewish private school my entire life, and in 7th grade, we only had 8 people in the class, so they shut down. At Jewish private school, is so cool to have a rolly backpack. So I begged my parents for this rolly backpack for like years, and then I got plucked out of private school and dropped into public school, and I had to spend 2 whole years before my parents would buy me a backpack that I could wear on my back. Weird answer, but I was just like, I had to be this like strange, nerdy Jewish kid in this public school with my rolly backpack getting kicked and brutalized and find like my own niche in nature. But in terms of like people, I mean, yeah, I do feel like I've known everyone forever. Everybody's kind of fun and unique, but at the same time, everybody has the same needs in life. Yeah. And that's, I've always been good at sales, but where I feel like the fundamental core of that is that I truly love getting to know people. And I think that people are so exciting. Like even when I travel the world, it's like the most exciting part of going to another country is learning how like an individual lives their life. And so that excitement is what keeps me going every day, let alone in my business.
That's phenomenal. I love that answer because we're kind of the same in that regard, in the sense that I feel like the better you know yourself, the better you know other people. Mm-hmm. And it kind of allows you to become curious about other people. And so you are genuinely engaged in conversation, whether it's a friend, family member, lover, whatever. It just allows you to be much more in the present moment while having that conversation, which leaves that person with a good taste in their mouth. Like, I like, and more importantly, I trust this person.
Yeah. They say that people are interesting if they are interested.
Ooh, money, I love it. Guys, do we have any questions for her?
You mentioned you stay in top of mind a lot of the time, so kind of what ways do you do that with your clients?
I don't believe in like small trinket touches. I know that there's a big push in our industry to have like 36 touches or whatever it is. I think that like really big showing up less frequently but more powerfully is how I stay top of mind. So I give a larger birthday gift every year to my clients. I give a really nice closing gift. Like I use a company called Sackcloth and Ash. They do a blanket and they donate one blanket to a homeless person. And it's a beautiful blanket, like $100+ Italian made. And people always have it in their living room. So I feel like they can mention me a lot.
Yeah. Strategic.
I add everybody on Facebook, like my personal Facebook. And I do truly enjoy seeing what they're doing in their lives. They have new babies and things like that. And then I don't know, maybe I eat a lot of carrots because I have a really good memory. I was taught early when I was learning sales that to always remember at least 2 pieces of information about somebody. And so if you can reiterate those when you have a conversation with someone, it's like an instant connection. And they just feel like you cared about them. Not that it's like I'm faking it. I do care about them, but I try and it's been a stigma and a staple for how I communicate with people.
I do have a question for you.
Oh, okay.
Like, what continues to drive you? Because 11 million is good, 50 million is great, 70 million. But like, what continues to drive you to wake up every morning and say, okay, I wanna do better than yesterday?
Thank you for that. Actually, that's something I came to terms with this last year, because I was for a long time feeling like, okay, that's enough. Like I've felt this success and I've enjoyed it. So I just expanded my team. Because I was looking for a way to reinvigorate myself. Kind of, when you master something and you're good at something, it becomes it neutralizes. It becomes
plateau.
Yes, and you go, okay, well, I know how to do this. What else can I learn? But I think a big part of being successful is doing something well and doing something well for a long time. And so I was struggling with that exact thing in 2020. And I thought to myself, like, I'd be fine at this point. But then I decided to hire a couple people, and they're now my driving factor. I'm so excited to make them money and make them successful. And so I really looked outward this last year. And so that's what's currently driving me. And I'm sure that might change years to come.
Love it. Awesome. Well, fantastic. Thank you so much for that. Great start already.